Good evening all. Hello, welcome to the show. This is Bot TV, episode 3. If you missed episode 1, that was the one with all the robots doing lots of talking instead of me, which was great. It's my favorite one because it wasn't so much me. Hello again, yes. So tonight's show, it's another mix of videos, performances, and chat with me, your host, Adam, CEO of Happy Robots. I'm fast becoming apparently the Alan Partridge of electronic indie robot pop chat shows. So it's called Bot TV after our label Happy Robots. Happy Robots, I should note, is the official title of the record label. It's not Happy Robots Records, despite what it may say. Just in case any pedantic Discogs users are watching, it's definitely Happy Robots Records. It's just a kind of long title, like Factory is sometimes called Factory Records, but it's anyway. I just wanted to clarify that, okay, for you Discogs guys. Hello to the people who are joining us in the chat there already. Hello. So best TV shows, particularly in the 1970s, begin with a joke. What did the man say to his dead robot? Rust in peace. There you go. Great. My 8-year-old could probably do better than that. Perhaps we should have him presenting the next episode. So later in the show, we've got a new feature. It's called The Happy Place, where one of our friends from or artists will be talking about their favorite records. And tonight we'll have TDK from MOOD TAEG. So hold on for that. It's going to be good. I've not watched it yet, so hopefully it doesn't say anything, we shouldn't be broadcasting on there. But the main event tonight. So we build tonight's show as a single launch party for the single that came out last week. So we're a week late, but hey, these things happen. Yeah, and it's a party. So my tipple of choice tonight is a large gin and tonic with some sort of hibiscus, I think they call it, in there, and an umbrella. Obviously, there was some Lego-shaped ice cubes as well, but obviously they've melted. It's gin, but let's hope I don't get too depressed drinking it. I had to drink gin because we've had new carpets fitted, and I'm not allowed to bring dark-coloured drinks upstairs anymore. Okay, so anyway, for Happy Robots fans, tonight's live guest needs no introduction. A former member of a number of bands, including Arthur and Martha, Cosigns, The Exteriors, Mastatura, The Dulocks, The Loves, The Girl Pirates. You may have seen them in Rodney Cromwell. I think there's a couple of others as well that I can't ever remember the names of as well. I mean, you will know her and love her as Alice Hubble. So, Earth to Hubble, can you hear us? Let's see if we can get this to work. Hello, Alice.
Hiya. Hello, hi.
How are you this good evening?
Did that work?
Don't know, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having a party to celebrate the release.
Yeah,
my drink as well is a gin and tonic.
Yeah, well, you want a gin and tonic as well?
Yeah.
Excellent. Have you got Lego shaped?
Yeah. We did have square shaped ice, but it's all melted. It does have I made some mince pie syrup the other day with like sugar syrup for cocktails. So it does have a little bit of mince pie syrup in there. So it's sort of gin and tonic with a hint of mince pie.
So that sounds lovely. So what? Pre-COVID, back in the real world, not Christmas, what sort of drink would you bring to a party? I mean, I remember being at a party, bringing brown or something.
Probably would bring a bottle of wine, but we've been drinking a lot of spirits in our little bar that we have. We've been experimenting with different cocktails, and yeah, so that's been our one of our activities over the past few months.
A very worthy activity, I'd say. So let's talk about the new single that we're having the party for. So it's your third single now on Happy Robots. I mean, obviously, anyone who's watching this has read all your interviews over the last couple of weeks. So you've talked an awful lot about what inspired the song, and it's not the happiest of songs in the world, is it? So let's maybe not talk on that at a party. But I mean, it's a great. The actual release itself of all 5 tracks is a really strong single release. I think you've got some really good remixes on there as well. I mean, how did they come about?
I spotted that there is a little bit of reverb on your vocals, so I've just put you into my headphones so that you're coming out of the speakers here.
I could hear something, but it sounded like any sort of meeting with the IT team at work.
Well, we'll see if the tech assistant lets us know whether. Yeah. So the EP we want. So we are still alone, which was on the album that came out last year. We were lucky to get Pie Corner Audio to do a remix. We met Martin on a night. It was that midsummer party, the Ghost Box midsummer party.
Yeah.
Which had a free bar, and yeah.
I would say I remember it well, but I don't remember it that well after that.
And he's always been really sweet and supportive with my music. So I kind of emailed Martin, and he replied and was up for doing the remix. And then Roman Angelos as well did 2 short remixes. That's how he does his tracks, are all kind of 50 seconds or so long.
I've heard his new album, of course, and they're not all 50 seconds long. But a little teaser there for all the Roman Angelos fans out there.
And yeah, so he did a couple of remixes, and then also Andy Abbott, Andrew DR Abbott, I think that was the name that release was under, because he has a few different monikers. He remixed Polar Lictor from the album as well, and did a very nice acoustic version. And yeah, it was nice to get all these sort of people together. It felt strange. I mean, we started working on the single like at the beginning of lockdown, I think. So I had approached I think we've been sitting on some of those remixes for a little while, but I think it was kind of, I needed to finish the video, and that's the thing that took the time. I think.
Well, you weren't sitting on them as long as we were for that Arthur and Martha album, which was 9 years or something like that. Pretty good turnover. Shall we play the song for those people that haven't? Yes, let's. I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to say yes. Let's play the song now. So here's the new video. It's called "We Are Still Alone," and I'm going to show it now here by pressing this button and then this button, and then we go away for a bit. Okay, enjoy the track, people.
Reflects the
Hey, that'll work.
Hey.
So I love the video. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Do you want to tell us a bit how you made it? Because obviously making anything at the moment in lockdown can be a challenge, particularly if it's anything collaborative.
Yeah. Alicia, I met Alicia, the puppet maker, who I worked on the video with. I met her through my day job, and we'd been talking for a little while earlier this year about doing a video, and then lockdown happened, and we were kind of getting everything together for doing the single. So I emailed her, and she was like, "Oh, I think I can still sort of do everything at home and order all the materials." So she suggested shadow puppetry because getting black paper and lights and fabric is a lot easier than trying to sort of build more complicated puppets. So we literally did like all of the sort of discussion about the concept and everything online, like via email. We didn't we had no Zoom meetings about it, and then she filmed it all at home and sent me all the footage, and I sort of then spent ages figuring out how to navigate Final Cut Pro to sort of cut it all together. And but really pleased with how it turned out. Like it's that thing, you have these conversations and you have these ideas in your head, but Alicia really did sort of manage to sort of encapsulate that and also totally get the aesthetic of Alice Hubble and the music as well. So
Yeah, I mean, when you said it was going to be puppets, I was a bit worried at first. It was going to be kind of Sooty and Sweep or something, but it's more like that Harry Potter film, isn't it? Harry Potter 7 or something. A little bit reminds me of that. I'm probably sure you didn't do it on quite their budget as well, which, you know, as CEO of the record label, makes me very happy. So look, I know you had a lot of gigs planned as well, and you've had to cancel a lot of appearances. So it sounds to me like gigs are starting to appear again. I mean, I don't know if you have to buy a Scotch egg or whatever to go to a gig these days, but you know, things are starting to happen again. I mean, you know, will we see you on stage again soon? And I mean, what do you think the live music scene looks like in the kind of near future?
I think for me at the moment, I'm really focusing on finishing my new record. So I probably don't really want to play until I've got all that figured out. And I think with the new album, I'll probably look at doing things a little bit differently with how I did it with the first album. I think the sort of sound of it is a bit more live. So I probably would look to not put together a full band, but think about bringing other musicians into the mix. I think you'll know with being a solo artist is that it can feel like a lot of like you're just trying to do a lot of things on stage. You're trying to perform and sing, but then you're also worried about the laptop breaking down and then like playing the next keyboard part or picking like and whether the mix is right in the speakers. So it's sort of I'm personally thinking about my live show so I can kind of just make it a bit more comfortable for me and a bit more so I can sort of relax and sing. I think for me at the moment I haven't missed performing that much, but I think I know I look forward to doing it when I can again, but I also don't want to feel like I'm putting myself in an unsafe position or other people. So I just would want to know that things are done right. But also, I don't know, going to a gig on Tuesday. We're going to see the Utopia Strong, which is Steve Davis's band.
Oh yeah.
But all the gigs these days are seated, and there's not that many people in the venues, and it's just like, is synth pop is that the right environment to see? Like, I don't know.
Well, as a synth pop musician, I've played plenty of gigs with 6 people watching, so I'm used to it.
Six people sat down.
6 people sat down. Well, maybe that's, I don't know. I mean,
I know it, but I think I probably wouldn't. I would have to think hard about turning anything down, but at the moment I'm just waiting until the record is finished, and then I would think about playing live. But I'm not booking anything apart from the shows that are getting rescheduled from last year until I kind of know what's happening with that.
Oh, good. So it's good to know they're going to be happening. We've got a suggestion here that you can go and play in Belfast, which sounds nice. I've always wanted to go and play in Belfast.
I like Belfast.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, we'd like to do that. Send us somebody's phone number, please. So in terms of the new album, I know, because obviously if we saw you on the last tour, you were playing new tracks on it. You played 3 or 4 new tracks on your tour. So you've obviously written it. So half was written in kind of pre-COVID, then writing the second half post-COVID. Has it changed your writing at all? I mean,
I think so. I had 4 songs recorded at a session that I did in September last year, and then so for the beginning sort of 3-4 months of the pandemic, I was on furlough with work, which was brilliant. I had it wasn't brilliant, but it meant that I had this extra amount of time that I could sort of spend doing music, and but I think initially I thought I was struggling with writing, but then I went into I've finished up in September, and I had 8 other tracks to bring to the album. A couple of them which I'd written before prior to everything happening, and a couple of what I wrote during. I would say that the ones that I've written during, or nothing, I haven't written anything directly about the pandemic, but I've kind of, there's a couple that are sort of, I guess, sort of political and actually quite angry. So maybe, so the new songs are either kind of almost heavy synth tracks or disco.
Disco. Okay.
So maybe that's just sort of partly want to dance, and partly just want to feel angry about stuff. And I don't know.
Were you influenced by the show with playing the show with Damo Suzuki? Because of course the only gig you played this year was the Alice Hubble experience with Damo Suzuki as the lead singer.
Maybe
synth with shouting. And
maybe that influenced me. But also it's some songs sort of start one way, and then when you get into the studio, they kind of change. And I think this time around, I sort of turned up to the studio with sort of less expectations and less kind of firm ideas of how things were going to. So I feel that the direction they went sort of surprised me, but I'm looking forward. Thanks for the nice comments in the chat, guys. But I'm looking forward to being able to sharing it with everyone.
Yeah, go back to Glasgow as well. Yes, it says there. Thanks, James. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, look, as your label boss, I also look forward to hearing it, and I trust obviously it's full of singles as well. Radio friendly, but not too radio friendly. if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
The last question on this, but like I know you know the last album you're very influenced by travel, and you've not been able to travel. As you know, I think you probably traveled more than I have, but I think it's Hailing Island. You have been further than that.
I think I feel quite lucky that in January went on holiday to Mexico for 2 weeks, and then also in February I got to Greece for a week just before everything sort of shut down. I was there on the artist development program, and we managed to get to Germany as well for a week in the summer.
So you've been to more countries than I get to go for it to in like 2 years or whatever. Very good.
Yeah. So actually, I've and we went to Cornwall as well, and saw some very nice stone circles in Cornwall and Somerset. So in a way, I feel quite lucky that I've still managed to get to do go places in 2020. I think honestly, if you've managed to like get through 2020, like you should be like commending yourself. So if you're able to do anything productive or sort of do anything that's not sat on your sofa, then like it's sort of, I mean, one of the tracks on the new record is named after the reservoir that's like 15 minutes walk from my house, and one of the things I liked doing in the summer was going there. You can swim in the reservoir, and it's like pretty deep, so you have to be comfortable with like open water swimming, but it's like this sort of spectacular landscape and big open skies, and like you're like, I've lived around the corner from this place for like 10 years, and like now I'm actually enjoying it. So I think that thing of being quite local meant that for me, I definitely explored places near me that I'd not really visited before.
Well, Steve in the chat says he put up a new fence. So, and I never go to Germany or anywhere, but I creosoted our shed, Steve, as well. I'm on your page, mate. Right, let's hear some music. So we've got a live performance now of the hits, the first hit, the breakthrough hit, as we call it, Performance of Goddess. So I'm going to show that to people right now. Once I'm
still here. No.
sensations, the rush of blood you have at her presence confirms your feelings. She's the one you're worshipping. Next to her, you're merely nothing. You consume her alabaster skin. You consume and you take everything, nothing less. 'Cause you took everything and she's left with all of nothing. You can take and you will take, 'cause it makes you feel great. She's not real, she can't be owned. It all comes to you one day. A kaleidoscope, it turns to grey. Demagnetized, she walks away. It all comes to you one day. Your destruction settled in. She's not a moon in your orbit. She's not your girl.
So we're back on, and now I've watched that video a
Yeah,
couple of
four
times
people
now,
on.
and every time I watch it, I just want to straighten your synthesizer up a little bit. It's a bit,
On YouTube.
you know, I think you need to shove something underneath one of the legs.
Okay.
Next time.
Probably was the camera wonky and I just moved everything. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I think the synth. I think I've got one of the feet on the metal bit, the bit, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Are you planning on? Have you been asked to do any more of those kind of live streaming things? I know they're a lot of work. Interrupting your drink there.
I haven't. No, I haven't been asked to do any more. I think I would do it again. I like. For me, I'm more in. What interests me more is doing the kind of live video thing, like I did with that. So actually, sort of putting together something like that was done with a green screen. So I think I'd prefer to do that than doing a straight kind of live performance. But yeah, but
it's always good to hear that track. Anyway, I know that you know when you put it out, a lot of people commented on the lyrics and stuff, and that was what really stood out. I remember, I think Steve Lamacq, that was the thing that one of the things that really stood out for him was the lyrics of it. When you come to writing a new song, are you a lyrics first person or a music first person?
Sometimes I'll get like a song title or lyrics that I'm like, as the initial idea, but most of the time it's the music comes first, and then I'm scrabbling around for the lyrics at the like last moment, or just decide to completely change them at the last minute. But yeah, it tends to be the melody and the music side of things that kind of emerge first from my brain. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's good. I had a quick look through the chat, and I forgot to mention the 7 inches, as well as another band, which of course was the band what you were in when I met you.
Yeah, that was like a long time ago now.
Yeah, I think we've got a fairly big anniversary coming up next year, I think, but that's not even.
Is it 20 years of us
20 years
knowing each other?
Yeah. Yes. Well, you know,
nice.
20 years. Blooming hell. Doesn't time fly? Eh? You know.
Yeah. It's.
What are we going to do?
It feels like yesterday, Adam. No,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
it feels like a really long time ago.
It does to me as well. How are we going to celebrate it?
Well, hopefully we can see each other.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. It serves like cake and cocktails, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Well, look, you're going to hold on because we've got another. I'll ask you a couple more questions at the end. We're going to move on to our new feature now, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So this is our friend from MOOD TAEG, who
Hi, MOOD TAEG. They said hi earlier.
Said hi. Hopefully they're still here. So this is our new feature. We're calling it the Happy Place, and this is where some of the artists, artists on Happy Robots, can talk about the music that they enjoy and what's inspired their own music. So I haven't actually watched this yet. I forgot all about it and only asked at the last minute, and it turned up today. So I'm sure it's going to be good, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing what's the happy place for MOOD TAEG and TDK. So here we go. Right, next button, and I hide.
Hi, I'm TDK from MOOD TAEG, and this is a little feature where I talk about some of my favourite records. And I think Adam is calling it, probably for copyright reasons, the Happy Place. So first up is this record, What Is Love by Terry Callier. Now Terry Callier is a folk, jazz, soul singer-songwriter. He was an early contemporary of people like Curtis Mayfield, Major Lance, Jerry Butler as well. And he released a few albums in the late 60s and early 70s. This particular album, one of my favourites, has some great soul tracks on it. You're Gonna Miss Your Candyman. Also has some great folk tracks on it, like the opening track Dancing Girl. It's just an all-round great album. Now, I think it was in the mid-70s, he basically gave up on music and went and became a librarian back in America. And then around about the late 80s, early 90s, some British DJs, mainly in the acid jazz scene, rediscovered him. And then he had another surge in popularity, specifically in Britain. And he recorded some records with British artists. He recorded an EP with Beth Orton. It's a great EP. He does some of his own songs. They also cover a Tim Buckley song on it as well, Dolphins. And he also recorded with Massive Attack as well. So check out Terry Callier. He was also quite popular in the Northern Soul scene. He had a song called Ordinary Joe, which is a Northern Soul classic as well. Worth finding out. Not on this album, but it's worth checking that one out as well. Okay, so Terry Callier. Okay, next up is this one. Now it's not the soundtrack to the Queen's Gambit, in case anyone was thinking that, but it's actually a guy called Manuel Gershing. Now he was a guitarist in Ashra Temple, and they're, for anyone that's a fan of Kosmische music, or krautrock as people like to call it, they're going to know Ashra Temple, and they might also know his solo stuff. Now this one was released after he left Ashra Temple, and I'm not exactly sure how you would describe it. Perhaps you would call it ambient. Perhaps there's a bit of Kosmische music to it. Perhaps it's also a bit drone. It's basically one song that lasts both sides of the record, but it's a great album, and you can just put it on and let it play. So, Manuel Götzing. Okay, next up is a British band who, in my opinion, perhaps because of their later career, are really underappreciated as a band, and they are Level 42. Now this one is the early tapes, and then this one is their first album. So this came out before the early tapes, but they were a great example of early Brit funk, and I think that perhaps the focus was so much on Mark King that people don't understand or underappreciate, and people like Mike Lindup and Boone Gould and Phil Gould as well in the whole band. And through listening to Level 42, it really introduced me to a lot of excellent music on the sort of early Brit funk scene. People like Atmosphere and Touchdown. These albums I bought in Our Price in Dundee, so that's given my age away if anyone remembers those record stores. But yeah, so they're a really great band, and worth rediscovering. Okay, the next one is one that the whole band bonded over. We all have a love of soundtracks, and this is one of our favourites. It's the John Carpenter soundtrack for his own film, Assault on Precinct 13. Growing up, I loved the John Carpenter films. This is my particular favourite of that. And I think as a soundtrack, to me it's almost perfect. And also it introduced me to how important soundtracks are in films, and I think that the tension created by the soundtrack in the film is just, I said, to me it's near perfect. This copy I picked up in Japan, and it comes on very, very, very gorgeous vanilla vinyl. Looks great when you're playing it. Also came with a lovely little booklet that tells you some things about the film. So it's a nice little package, this one. But you can pick up any of the John Carpenter soundtracks. They're all great, but this is my particular favourite. The next album is one of my favourite summer albums, and it's Roy Ayers Ubiquity and Everybody Loves the Sunshine. The title track is one of my favourite songs ever. If I don't drive around with the windows down blasting music out, but if I did drive around with the windows down blasting music out, you'd be hearing Everybody Loves the Sunshine. Now we love this track so much that we even named our DJ night after that. So our DJ night is Everybody Loves the Sunshine, and we always make sure at the very end to play Everybody Loves the Sunshine. You can pick up any of the Roy Ayers albums, they're all good. This is just a particular favourite of mine. Okay, talking about the DJ nights that we do, we play Brazilian, soul and funk music. This is a dance floor filler, let's call it that. And it's Ayrton Moreiro Fingers. Ayrton Moreiro's from Brazil, an amazing percussionist, amazing drummer, composer, sang with his wife, Flora Purim. Again, like Roy Ayers, you can pick up any of the Ayrton Moreiro albums, they're all great. This one has a track called Tombo in 7/4, for you jazz aficionados, the 7/4 time. It's an absolute classic track. There are various versions of it, but this one on this particular album is my favourite. Okay, so that's my happy place, though perhaps by the look on my face and sweat on my forehead, you can see that being on video is maybe my most unhappy place. Also, I hope it let you see that although our music fits into the kind of krautrock genre, the actual tastes of the band are fairly diverse, and this is just a small selection of that. So I'm going off to find my happy place, and I hope that you perhaps go and check out some of these records. See you.
Hey, that was brilliant. Oh, you
Yeah.
probably all see what I watch on YouTube, mainly Formula One videos, mind you, at the end of it there. That was really interesting, to be honest. I must say, I never thought Level 42 would be in the list, but I never knew that they were good
No.
anytime.
I mean, I only know the hits, and I have to admit I'm a little bit partial. I do like Running in the Family and Lessons in Love, but so I think I may have to go back and check that out. They also he also mentioned E02E04 by Manuel Gotching, which I saw him perform that in the Barbican Centre a couple of years ago, and it was fantastic. We were one of the gigs that he was meant to be coming back and playing one of his Asher albums in April, but that got cancelled. So
yeah,
hopefully it will get rescheduled at some point.
I mean, I think it shows you should never, know one album or a few, albums and judge. We should never judge anybody by them. I mean, gosh, I seem to remember that when we made the Arthur Martha album, we were really into a Chris de Burgh album, if I remember rightly.
Oh yeah, I still like that record. Man on the Line.
Man on the Line.
He's got the telephone.
Did you have a T-shirt of it? I remember you had a T-shirt of it.
I had a T-shirt that my friend Kerry gave me, just thinking I would like this Chris de Burgh T-shirt, and then I went and bought the album because of the T-shirt. And actually, it has a song on it called. It's the chorus goes, "I love the night. I love the night. I love the element of danger and the ecstasy of flight."
That was the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think I listened to any other songs apart from the first one.
All right. Yeah. I think that was the level of influence it had on Arthur and Arthur. I think that basically that one. So.
Yeah.
We've also got a message from Chris in the chat saying, "Have the Assault on Precinct 13 vinyl. It's brilliant." Yeah. I mean, that was a brilliant soundtrack. I mean, we all the time around the house. I think we were always going dun 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 dun. Like the police are outside busting next door. Drug factory or whatever. Dun 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 dun. That's what we do. Yeah, it's good. I really enjoyed that. So TD, if you're still there, we loved that. Thought it was great. Yeah, thank you very much, Alice. I mean, will you come and do one of these? If we do one of these shows again,
yeah, I can.
Have you got any Dione records? I mean, I don't know.
These are all my partners, and you can tell that they're not mine because they're all very neatly organized. Mine are the scruffy ones that are just off camera here, but we definitely.
Mine look just pale in comparison now. Everyone at work thinks, "Oh, look, you've got so many records," but I'm like, "Well, you should, see Alice's."
You just need to set up your camera closer to them.
Well, I should do, shouldn't I? Really.
Yeah.
So, on a lighter note, what are your survival tips for surviving Christmas over Zoom? We use Teams at work, not Zoom.
Oh yeah, we use Teams as well. I don't know. I think sort of do the bare minimum. We've just finished watching that program Industry that's on BBC, which is all about people who work in the stock market, and that made me realize that actually work office parties are awful. So actually doing a Zoom where you can check in, do for an hour and a half, and then leave and just be home and not have to you can pretend that you're drinking and just have a really weak gin and tonic, or it's just sort of like if you don't like the work Christmas party, the Zoom work Christmas party will go even quicker. Like,
well, yeah, everyone will get bored with it, won't they? Quite well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always the go-to person at the Christmas party for doing the music, surprisingly.
Mm.
You know, and in fact, I bonded with my wife on the fact that I was DJing at the Christmas party. I think it was just after we met, and she led the conga out of the building and around the building and back again. You know, and it's like, well, maybe we're made for each other. You know,
Yeah.
we're both, you know.
Yeah, but you
think a party.
Yeah, you can do the conga and at home, I guess.
We can do the conga around our house as well.
Yeah.
You know, get busted by the police or whatever it is that happens around here.
Yeah, the little ones will love that.
They will probably be. I mean, yeah, they'll be part of it. At least one of them will be. The one that never sleeps will be.
Yeah.
They'll be there. So okay, so I've written on my notes. I do have notes. This is you know, planned in detail. Plug stuff to sell. So here we go. Plugging stuff to sell, which is down here on the floor. So you've all got Alice's new single. Well, you might not have it because I might not post it out yet. But Alice's new single, "We Are Still Alone." It's limited edition CD. It's basically a promo, but another hard thing, another a real thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, have you got one?
Can you send me some actually?
How many?
I've
only got 9 left.
Okay. I need one. I need to send one to Andy as well.
Okay. I offered one to Martin Pie Corner Audio, and he said, "No thanks. I don't have a CD player." Who would have thought it? Of course, Alice has an album out as well. Polar Lictor. We have CDs of that, proper nice CDs with A and B side on them. A and B side. What we would call in the trade a mispress.
It's a special CD that you can flip partway through.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're LP inclined, I don't have any more of these in the house. Actually, this is my own personal copy. But I think you can. I think they still have some of the Cargo Records warehouse. So if you order it through like Norman Records or Amazon, you'll probably get hold of a copy. But Norman Records, I'd recommend you probably get one from them. Yeah. And then I found some of these test pressings. We've got 3 test pressings, and look, Alice has signed them.
And some of them are the misprint.
Yeah, that's the real album.
That's the and so the others are like if you already have Polar Lictor and want to hear the wrong test pressing of it, then
they know you've made them even more. People might want to buy both. Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly. So the white one is the mispress, and the blue one is the real press. Gosh, you shouldn't have said that. You've taken them even more complicated now. What else? And then we have, of course, the Mood Tag album as well. We still got a few of these, and not too many, to be honest. I think I've done my last box in here. There might be something Norman. I don't think Norman was down to the last one as well. So, so yeah, that's available also. There's a new Mood Tag single, 7-inch single as well, but you've missed that already if you weren't on Bandcamp at about 9 o'clock yesterday morning as well. So I've done all the plugging. So yeah, if you want to buy them, you can go to either our Bandcamp or I think the test pressing's only on our website. We've revamped. Chris is saying he wants the white. You better get in there, Chris. It's on our website. Okay, it's on our website at happyrobots.co.uk. I've only just launched it, and it doesn't quite work properly on mobile yet. So you need to go to on a computer or whatever, and it's over in the bot shop. There's 3 copies over there right now. Steve on the chat is saying that he used to do the music at his work parties, and it never ended well. Well, I look forward to hearing you tell me about that at some stage, Steve. I can imagine. I can imagine if you're doing the music, it wouldn't end well. I've heard your album. Much as I like it, can't see it going down that well at an office Christmas party. And office politics by Vile Electrodes. Yeah, well, yes. I mean, office politics indeed. Right. Okay. So I think we're almost up. So I'm going to play now. We've got the new single by Mood Tag. It's out next week, next Friday. It is out Friday. It's already sold out, but next Friday you can still buy it from Bandcamp or whatever, and it'll be on all the digital things, all the digital. I'm hoping that Mood Tag are going to come and do one of these things as well. What are these things called? These bot TV things, like this one large gin, and I'm used to this. Do one of these in the future. TDK, if you're still listening, we still want you. I'd love to get you before Christmas as well, maybe in a couple of weeks. Yeah, that would be great. And Happy Robots. The next first few months of the new year is gonna be quite quiet because the CEO has got to finish his own album. But after that, it's going to be a really busy year for us in the summer. So Alice's album's coming out, Mood Tag album coming out, Rodney Cromwell album coming out, Roman Angelus album coming out. So it's going to be a busy time. So it's going to be very exciting. So, thanks to everybody who's offered their support as ever. Any rare TMP records? I think I've sold all the rare TMP records already. I think they all went in the last run of me flogging off every single thing I can find in the house that people might want to buy. Where was I? So yes, so it's going to be very busy next year. So thanks to all the people who stuck with us. I noticed somebody had given us a downvote on YouTube within 10 minutes of airing the show, but I'm sure that's just one of the many people that I've managed to annoy in the last year. That's quite a long list now, but hey, that's the music biz for you. So anyway, I'm going to play you the Mood Tag video now, and yeah, come back for the next show, please. And Alice, it's been great to talk to you again. Obviously, I'll probably talk to you tomorrow because I'm, if not in 10 minutes time. But yeah, it's been brilliant, and thanks. And as I say, do come back and do one of these. I'd love to hear your favorite records as well. And
I'll start thinking.
Anytime you want to do a live stream show, the offer's there, but no pressure, because I know you want. I want you to finish your album. Let's be honest. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks to everybody for joining us. Okay,
Yeah,
here is the new video, Concord by Mood Tag. Enjoy. I have to hide us. Au revoir.
The airwaves, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, the airwaves are the property of the people. You'd never know it though. Did you get that?
We are always more important than the machines we invent. For our reference, we will say the machines are both form and theory. The theory being that we must work for somebody else's machine. The form or reality is that this machine thinks it is more important than the people who work the machine. Like any other machine, this machine has no feelings. Like any other machine, it can be repaired. If it can't be repaired, it will need to be replaced. This machine has no feelings. Like any other machine, it can be repaired. If it can't be repaired, it will need to be replaced.
What an astonishing idea that the most wickedest of men whatever could you possibly have thought was going to happen if you leave these people to be doing all this stuff? Did you get that?
This machine thinks it is more important than the people who work the machine. This machine thinks it is more important than the people who work the machine. This machine thinks it is more important than the people who work the machine.